Hey there, how's it going? Welcome back to my gardening journal. Let's talk about hydrangeas today. If your hydrangea doesn't bloom for you, don't throw it out just yet. It might be taking a break or establishing its roots. Take a look at this one for example. This is Hydrangea Macrophylla. It is a variety called Sister Teresa. I got this plant in the spring of 2019, and while it bloomed really well for me that year, it was a little disheartening to find out that it didn't give me any flowers in 2020. I almost yanked it out, but I'm so glad I didn't because something told me that, give it another year. Maybe something's happening where I can't see it. This is August of 2021, and I'm so glad I didn't get rid of this plant. Why? Because it's been flowering so well for me, and the flowers on the stems last longer than 2 months. It starts blooming in around the end of June, and for the whole month of July and August and well into September, you'll have this right here. So yeah, let's take a closer look and see the progress of this plant's growth. 2019 was the year that my grandmother came to visit from Thailand, and she stayed with me that whole summer. And to find something fun to do with her, I had this idea that we would turn our bare backyard into a cozy little garden. And out of all the plants that we chose together to put in our garden, she was particularly fascinated with hydrangeas. Because Thailand is a tropical country, hydrangeas don't grow there. And this was our Sister Teresa hydrangea that we bought together in 2019. We bought this plant while it was in bloom, and it took really well to transplanting, so we were able to enjoy this beautiful season-long spectacle in our garden that year. But in the following year, like I said earlier, it didn't flower at all, but it still put out some really nice green healthy leaves. And with this guy, I don't remember pruning it. As a matter of fact, I didn't prune it at all because it was still such a very young plant. Maybe I just deadheaded some of the flowers, but that was pretty much it. So I really wasn't sure why it wasn't flowering. But I just wanted to give it time and let it be, so I kind of left it alone. And in 2021, which is this year, it rewarded me with so many beautiful flowers like this, you guys. I'm so happy. Hydrangea Macrophylla Sister Teresa has such an exquisite form with delicate large linen white blooms. What an excellent plant to have in your garden. This area of my garden border where I placed it is probably the most ideal situation for most hydrangeas. This border receives about 5 hours of morning sun and a couple more hours of dappled sunlight in the afternoon as the sun shifts directions. This white hydrangea makes an exceptionally bright hedge because of its large paper white flowers, and I think it looks so beautiful in between my two emerald green arborvitaes. And as the weather starts to get cooler, maybe towards September, these white flower clusters will age to pinkish tones, giving you that beautiful fall color display. Other than removing some dead stems, I'm not gonna do any pruning to this plant at all because I think it's still a very young plant that doesn't really need to be pruned. Plus, it has a really beautiful rounded growth habit, as you can see here. So I don't think I need to do anything to it. But this is mophead hydrangea that blooms on old wood. So any type of pruning that you might want to do, you would want to do that right after the flowering period, which is around July, August timeframe. So not to remove any of the next year's buds. So I've come to find out that hydrangeas are a little tricky when it comes to pruning, and I didn't find this out until after I had bought a bunch of hydrangeas already. So Sister Teresa right here, this one blooms on old wood, and this is an older hydrangea. It was introduced in the 1940s. And I also have some other hydrangeas in my yard that belongs to the Endless Summer series, and those guys bloom on both old and new wood. And then I also have Hydrangea paniculata. This guy here, this is Phantom Hydrangea or Hydrangea paniculata. This guy blooms on new wood. So hydrangeas are all different, and you have to really know your plant to know how to prune it. And I get to know my plants by observing. So for example, my hydrangea Sister Teresa, I know that it blooms on old wood for sure. Yes, I read some information on the internet, but I also observed when it first starts to leaf out in spring. Like this was the spring of this year, and if you look closely, you'll see tiny little leaves and swollen buds on these brown stems. So in the wintertime, even though these stems may look dead, they're very much alive. This area used to be nothing but overgrown weeds until I started putting 2 arborvitaes in here and then everything else in between. I wish my grandma was able to come last year and this year, but the pandemic kind of put a halt to everything. Oh well.
So together we made this garden border from nothing to this, and I'm super proud of myself and my grandmother. I was her little minion and she was my Gru that summer. But we had a lot of fun. So that's it, you guys, about Sister Teresa hydrangea or Hydrangea macrophylla. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed our video today. Happy gardening, y'all. Bye.